On this course, we'll learn how to create a picturesque illustration on Adobe Photoshop. We're going to make our illustration look as though it were actually painted on a real canvas. How can we do that? Is it even possible? As you know, there are many different painting styles and artistic movements. It's important to investigate all these styles and find the ones that suit your personality and you feel comfortable working with. This is one of the first things that you would do if you studied fine art or began any kind of artistic formation. Generally, we start off without knowing ourselves or having any defining style. To find our way, we need to know what's out there and make space for ourselves. I don't mean we should literally copy a style, but just to find things that inspire us and study the different possibilities. Sometimes you'll come across artists or techniques that you love and you might never have heard of before. Most of the artists you probably know have a very defined style that's easily recognizable. This is the result of a constant search for the styles that that artist admired, and gradually those inspirations and the artist's own personality make up their own personal style. I once heard that our own style is the combination of mistakes and habits that we have when we're trying to solve problems with our drawing. Our brushstrokes, our techniques, maybe we haven't really defined them consciously, but we just didn't know how to do them any other way, and we've repeated those patterns until people end up recognizing that work as ours. What I'll tell you will help you enrich in your work and also relax if you're worried about finding your style. Now getting back to the project, we're going to explore a series of artists on this course to help us with our illustration. However, we're going to go back in time a little instead of studying contemporary artists or illustrators. As you'll see later when we talk about research, I've chosen William Turner as a reference for my illustration. Turner was an English artist who started painting at the end of the 18th century to the mid-19th century during a period known as Romanticism, so we have gone quite far back. If you know Turner's work or you've seen it before, you might be looking forward to learning how we can use his style as an inspiration. And if it's the first time you've heard of him, then I can guarantee that this painting will definitely make an impression on you. We'll study the technical aspects of his work and we'll analyse his brushstrokes to try and reproduce them digitally. It's not easy work. To achieve these types of strokes, we need to explore the brushes we have in Photoshop. We'll see what effects they have and which ones will be most useful to us. We'll also see how we can adjust the properties of some of them to see what they can do for us. I have lots of different paintbrushes of various styles that aren't included in the default brushes of the software, but you can find them online and download them. Most of them are free, but some of them you might have to pay for. There are some artists who share their own brushes online for you to use. We'll also learn how to create a brush from scratch so you can try to make your own brushes. After all of this, we'll go on to the next lesson where we'll start painting our illustration. Before sketching, we'll go over some basic composition rules so that your drawing makes sense. We can't just start drawing without knowing how the placement of our elements will affect the design as a whole. Always keep this in mind, don't ignore the theory, although it might seem boring at times. All the techniques you learn are necessary, and all artists have to go through the same process when they start out. We'll talk about visual weights, horizontal lines, possible formats, everything you need to know to make any kind of illustration. There is much more information I could share with you, but we're going to focus on what we need for this particular exercise. After learning these things, we'll start our painting with a brainstorm, using some reference photos of landscapes. When we have decided on which drawing we want to use, we'll start painting using brushes that create some beautiful effects. When our painting is more advanced, we'll get to the really fun part, which is applying those apparently chaotic brushstrokes that make Turner's work so interesting. You'll see how effective this effect is and also how quickly you can paint an illustration like this. You might not reach the height of Turner or rival his technique, but you can trick the viewer into thinking that they're looking at an illustration that took a lot longer than it actually did. Sometimes it's good to strike a balance between effort and time. I don't want to be lazy, but just know the resources you have. Fantastic, now you know what this course is all about. You'll see that with a few simple tricks after a process of research and investigation, you can obtain very convincing results, which you'll be able to use as editorial illustrations or color concepts. So if you're ready to get started, I'll see you for our first lesson.